Apparently Vimoh ने भारतीय दर्शनों को defeat कर दिया with this logic. Let's just hear him.
Dad says, if you don't know something, why not just assume there's a creator rather than being agnostic? Why assume there's a creator? This is like saying, if you don't know what is in a dark room, why not just assume that there is a hippopotamus there? Why should I assume there is a hippopotamus there? If I don't know, I don't know. I will say that I don't know. Why assume anything? Just because it makes you happy? Why? Yeah, ajeeb hai yaar. If you don't know something, why not just assume that there is a creator? Why? Why would I assume there is a creator?
So Bimbo sounds witty, but here's the problem. Vimoh looks like he's making a point, but all he's doing is some sort of comedy here. Let me explain how. In Bhāratīya Darshan, nobody is asking you to assume anything. We don't do the maan philosophy. We talk about Nyaya Darshan, which tells us about certain types of Pramāṇa, namely Pratyakṣa, Anumāna, Upamāna, and Śabda Pramāna. Take Anumāna Pramāna for example. Inference. Suppose there's a dark room you can't enter yet. You don't just randomly imagine a hippo. Instead, you look for signs. You notice wet mud outside. First doubt arises, maybe something from a muddy habitat is inside. Then you see pinkish marks in the mud. And we know that hippo secretion can leave behind reddish brown or pinkish marks as the secretion dries and polymerizes. Now you don't have certainty yet, but you have a rational direction to inquire. And that is how Nyaya Darshan works. You gather evidence, and if you have multiple positions, even after that, you use tark, that is reasoning, to eliminate the weaker possibilities, and you move closer to the truth. Same with the question of Ishwar's existence. We don't say मान लो ईश्वर है because it feels nice. We observe universal constants, fine-tuning, order in reality. These are the muddy footprints outside the room. From there, inquiry proceeds, and before you say I am retrofitting these concepts, our ancestors had their own set of argument too, but I'm trying to be relatable here. So unlike Vimoh's lazy throne of I don't know and I won't even try, Bhāratīya Darshan says don't assume and investigate. That's why even in the Nāṣadīya Sūkta, the inquiry continues instead of shutting down the curiosity with false bravado.